Hello and welcome to today's episode of Thrive After 45. I'm Denise Drinkwalter, heart whisperer, midlife mirror, and mentor. And every week I am honored to share energy and space with inspiring guests whose stories reflect so many possibilities of thriving beyond 45. Together, we'll uncover the whispers of the heart, the power of midlife transformation, and the wisdom that fuels expansion. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome Sairan Aqwari. I'm going to say this right, Aqwari, to our show today. Did I do it?
Yes,
Ah!
yes, yeah, thank you.
Sairan is a director of engineering and leadership strategist whose experience and expertise has been shaped both by lived experience and more than 30 years of professional leadership. After immigrating from Iraq to the United States, she rebuilt her life and career from the ground up, developing the resilience, adaptability, and determination that have defined her work ever since. Across 3 decades, Seiran has led complex engineering and infrastructure initiatives, managed high stakes projects, and guided cross functional teams in demanding environments. As she moved into executive leadership, she began mentoring women and emerging leaders who wanted to advance with confidence, clarity, and intention. And since 2018, she's built a business focused on helping professionals navigate career and life transitions, supporting them to fully leverage their education, experience, and skills without burning out and or starting over. Through one-on-one mentoring, speaking, and workshops, Seiran has directly coached more than 250 professionals and reached thousands more. Her work helps people who feel stuck, overlooked, or uncertain about their next chapter gain clarity, make bold decisions, and step into leadership that reflects who they are now. I am so excited about this conversation that we are going to have today because you are speaking directly to the heart and soul of our audience about thriving after 45. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Denise, for having me. It's my pleasure.
Oh my gosh. Tell us how you got to where you are today. Give us a little bit of a backstory so we can understand the depth of your experience and what you bring to the table.
Yes, thank you. Um, in general, I feel like since I was a teenage, I meant to be a teacher or a coach because I always took responsibility to help others around, either teaching them math or just teaching them swimming because I used to be a swimming coach in Iraq.
I
So
love it.
yeah, I always love to take people from point A to point B, regardless in technology, at work, or even in self-development. So I guess I love the teaching part of it, the mentoring part of it, and what has got me here, it was all by accident. I did not plan to have a business in 2018. I was just doing my job at the authority. I was working full time. Then
Mhm.
after my graduation in 2017, I was all, bumped up. I was like, yay, I can do this. Let's just start my doctoral. So that was a big mistake because you can start your doctoral program right after your master. It's very exhausting. So I
Right.
did, and I did one semester. And while I was doing my doctoral at the university, the school asked me if I'm willing to talk with the younger engineer who are about to graduate and just talk to them about the reality about women in tech, what they should expect it at the workforce. So
Right.
after I spoke with them, the head of the women in engineering contacted me and she said, "Oh, the girls loved you. I mean, it was such as a captivating message, and they all engaged. And are you willing to come back and do some workshop as a coach?" And I did not understand when she said coach. I was like, yeah, I was a coach. She said, no, 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 athlete coach, because back then in 2017, I thought coach just applied to someone who teaches soccer or basketball. She said, no, there is another terminology talking about life and business coach. Have you ever checked the ICF? I was like, what is ICF? She said the International Coaching Federation. Of course, she made me curious. And while I was still doing my doctoral, I end up, I booked the exam, I study, and I put my doctoral for in the freezer, and it's still in the freezer. I never finish it. So when I start doing those mentoring and workshop and coaching women around, positive communication, leadership,
Mm,
impact message, I never looked back. I never said, "Oh, I should have just go back and finish my doctoral because that's more effective." Because
mm,
I feel sometimes, Denise, and you know this very well, you are a businesswoman, life threw you in different path because that's what is meant for you. So you
hmm
might get a little bit upset and distracted, and you ask the universe why I end up doing this. But there was a reason why you pivot. There was a reason why you direct to that path because the universe knows that you are more impactful by
mm.
doing the other things. So it's the rest is history, and here I am. I'm talking with you.
I love it. I love it. Was it hard to put put your PhD in the freezer? Or did you make the decision and it was like, no, and you never look back?
It was not easy because that was one of my dream. I mean, I
Yeah.
also want to have a, doctoral PhD degree in engineering because I wanted to advance my degree. And that was one of the reason I moved to United States because I want to have my degree, grad degree from here. But then I knew that I'm still effective with my master degree, plus with the help and with the guidance that I give the younger generation.
Mm.
That's more effective than me just lecturing them about how to build the bridges, with all respect to all the PhD degree professor
Sure.
at the university. But I felt like my call or my impact will be better off by coaching them and mentoring them around, self-confidence and how to become a leader and how to thrive in the engineering industry because in
Mm.
general, I mean, you hear this male dominated word, which I don't like at all. They say, oh, engineering, construction, especially, it's a male dominated. And I always try to correct that. I know sometimes we pick up those words because we
Hmm
keep saying it on and on. Every career, everything you do in your life is not dominated by men and women. It's dominated by the people who are competent doing it.
Mm.
Say, oh, he's a male, then he will dominate the engineering. Because if you look in real life and examples, there's a lot of leadership women in engineering, in construction. They are dominating the whole market because
Mm.
they are able to utilize their expertise and their technical experience and leverage it in a leadership and being a role model for another other women behind them. So it was not anger, but I was a little bit upset about myself, like why I dropped it. That was not right decision. But as I started going and starting building my business, and I see all the feedback, the testimonial, the people who contact me by email saying, we felt so good after the mentorship. We felt so good about your coaching session. We got the courage and the confidence to go and apply for promotion or just pivot our career or just start a side business while we
Mm.
are full-time 9 to 5. Now we have the confidence and the resources as you teach us to start a business. So right now I'm not thinking about it, and I don't believe I will ever go back to school. I feel I'm done with studying
Yeah.
because I'm already in leadership position now. So I just want to
Yeah.
focus more about how to make an impact and how to help other women to thrive in their industry.
Yeah, I love that. There's so much depth of possibility when we tap into who we are at the various levels, isn't there? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you will still question yourself. You're still gonna
Yeah.
say why I am doing it, and I always tell my client, especially the women, I said those doubts. I mean, don't give them so much weight. It's still gonna
hmm
be there. Like when the first time I spoke at on a stage, I mean, I spoke at Women in Technology. I forgot even to say my name. I was so nervous because I was a good speaker at work, running engineering meeting and using technology terminology and using math and equation, all of that was no problem. But
Right.
when I ended up being on the stage speaking about women leadership, I become nervous and I forgot. It's get better. So
Hmm.
those doubt, Denise, you know this. You are in the
Hmm.
business. It will never
Hmm.
go away. It will never vanish.
Right.
As you age, as you earn more years of experience and the wisdom, those blocks and obstacles, you kind of you know how to maneuver around them, how to climb it, how to befriend it, how to say, "Oh, I know this obstacle. I've seen it before in
Yeah.
another occasion, right? So I know how to handle it." So
Yeah.
when you age and when you have years of experience, I mean, I have over 35 years in engineering. I'm not saying now I don't see any obstacle, I don't see any problem. To be honest, those problem obstacle it will stay there.
Hmm.
This is how the nature of life, right? It's not an easy, smooth, it's not going to be linear path and you're just going to, go by and nothing will face you.
Right.
But you will earn the skills and the mastery for the whether how to handle it in the best way. And that's what the privilege about aging. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love what you're saying because what's coming up for me is when we don't have those obstacles, we're doing two things. One, we're maybe not growing, or two, we're maybe not being real with ourselves. We're pretending instead of being honest with ourselves. Would you agree, disagree, add?
Totally, totally. I mean, if I'm always comfortable, then where is the
Yeah.
thriving point, right? I'm stagnant. I'm on my space. I mean, if you see me in the same place, not just the role or the position of your job, just in the human development component. Like, let's say talking, for example, about your podcast. If you go
Mhm.
back and see your first episode, you compare with the episode you are doing, you see how much progress you made, right?
Mhm.
Not you are not competing with other hosts, you are not competing with other platform, but you see the progress you make because you refuse to be comfortable when you were comfortable the first podcast and said, no, I can do better than this. I'm going to
Yeah.
put technology, I'm going to invest some money in this and the on the
Yeah.
mind, doing more tools. So now when you look back and you compare about episode number 50, it will never look like episode number one. And
Right.
this is exactly about life event. I mean, when I graduate from engineering, I was not even close to the confidence I have now. I was scared even to speak up at engineering meeting. I thought if I speak up, they will punish me, and I have
Yeah.
just have to stay quiet beside the where the exit close and on the door,
Yeah.
the second row, never on the table, never using my hands, never have a voice or opinion about anything. But as you go, you learn how to leverage those skills to be a better
Hmm.
version of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And you do this is the underpinning and the foundation of our show for you, by you, because of you. You don't do it for external reasons. You do it because it's what is coming up for you to be able to grow and expand and continue to learn, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I always say, I always tell the women when they tell me, "Oh, I can't start a business or I can't pivot my career because I'm old." And when I ask them, "How old are you?" She said, "Oh, 52," or they said like mid 50. I said, "If that's old, then what is 80 and 90?" People
Hmm.
refuse to call themselves old nowadays. You have to refuse that because you know this very well. You are old when you stop dreaming. You are
Yeah.
old when you stop innovating,
Yeah.
especially for engineers. I always tell the women in tech, I said, if you don't have good ideas to solve the problem, then you are getting old because you are not using your brain.
Yeah. I love that. You're getting old because you're not using your brain,
Yeah, yeah, totally.
right? I love that. I love that. You talk a lot about helping people who are feeling stuck or being overlooked for positions or advancement. This is very common in our, particularly women in midlife years. What types of things will help us get past those, I'm going to call them issues for lack of a better term?
Yes. Again, those blocks and obstacles will always stay there, especially when you get older for women. And I'm going to talk about women in tech in general.
Yeah.
They stop the thriving mode when they hit the 50. They feel like this is a time just to think about retirement. I'm in my 50, why I should change my job. Well, I'm in my mid 50. I just changed my job after 14 years. I was comfortable. I was making good money. I worked for the authority. And many people, including my own family, they tell me, why you need to change your job? Well, because it's become very easy. I feel
Mm,
like I am not growing. I'm not adding anything on the table. I am not leaving any impact. So
hmm
I started applying, and it was not easy
hmm
because the age is a factor.
Yeah.
Uh, some company they cannot even afford your salary because they know you have the 30 experience, 35 experience. They know that you will never start with them
Right.
mid salary, right? So you're going to
hmm
negotiate with them about their packaging and all of that.
hmm
But I refuse to give up. And to
hmm
go back to your question, what's my advice for women who's in my
Yeah.
age? I'll speak up, from my own
Of
experience.
course.
I refuse to give up.
Yeah.
I mean, you will fail when you give up.
hmm
That's the last line, right? I
hmm
mean, you are considered failure if you decide to give up.
hmm
And I refuse to give up. I was like, no, I'm gonna be against the odd. If they tell me mid 50 is late, I'm gonna show them what is. And I won the role, and I become a director, and I'm very happy about my new job. I just started, and not because I'm a better than others. No, there's other who are way more qualified than me. They have more credential, they have more degree, but
hmm
they gave up.
mm
They decided to give up because they said, no, that's not for me. I'm in my 50, I'm aging. I should just think about the retirement cake. I don't even eat cake, so I
hmm
don't want to think about the retirement cake. So I was like, no, I don't eat cake. I don't want the retirement cake. So let me just apply for something else. And also in your 50, Denise, you know that,
hmm
I mean, the beginning of your life, you navigate, you start a family, you raise kids, and
hmm
help your parents if they become older or your in-laws. When you hit that 50, that should be the rest of your life. You have to own that the other half of your life in your mid. That's your prime. That's the time that you really need to do things that align with your soul. If there is
Yes.
no alignment after 50, that's mean you are losing the other half of your life. Well, you can be harsh on yourself when you're 30 or when you are 29 or you are even 40. You said, oh, I'm not successful because I am not in leadership or I don't have a side business. Well, you're still building your family. You're still part of your son and daughter. You chaperone, you take them to the doctor, you involve in their activity and their
Yeah.
sport. That's okay. But
Yeah.
when you hit that 50, by then your kids are grown, right? They have their own friend, they go out, so you have
Yeah.
to claim that age. You
Yeah.
have to come back and ask yourself, I've done everything I could. I'm a good wife. I'm a good sister. I'm a good
hmm
friend. I've done all my duties. I pay the bills, right?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's time for me. I have to think
Exactly.
about what I can do. I think about all the dreams, all the
Yeah.
things that it's looked impossible in my 20 and 30 and 40, and I'll make it possible in my 50.
Exactly. And thank you for bringing that up because that's something that gets lost over time is our dreams. And it's one of the things that I think is really imperative, particularly in midlife, because you talk so eloquently about your stages and ages in life have required you to be present in different ways. And now you get to be present for yourself because those demands and those tethers that have kept you where you were along the trajectory you were on needed to be there because you were fulfilling other parts of your life that needed to be done before you came to where you are now, right? So, yeah, I love what you're saying. Giving back to you, nobody else can do it.
Yeah.
It's your game now. And when you step into that realization that I had a conversation. It actually drops this Thursday as we're recording. So it'll be dropped in February, but it's Andy Semtoyak. And he talked about getting out a tape measure And on average, look at how, on average, women live 80, 85. Let's just put that number out there. And every inch is a year. So you put where your age is on that on that tape measure, and that's how much you've lived. And this is how much, quote unquote, you have kind of left. And it really, whoa, made me go, yeah, seeing that visually was really great because it really helped me get that foundation. Yes, it is my time, and there's nothing wrong with that because I get to give back to me now, and why not?
Totally. So, and there's great example around us. You'll see a lot of author who made the best book in Amazon. They are in their 80 and late 70s. When
Yeah.
you ask her, she said, "This is my first book." And
Yeah.
like, what's happened? She said, I was in corporate America. I was making good money. I raised my kids. They are married
Yeah.
now. I decided to write my first book, and I'm 79 or 80.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with that.
No.
What's wrong is to take those dreams with you to the grave, because that would
Yeah.
be very sad.
Yeah.
And I always remember something Les Brown told me. I was privileged to have a summit with Les Brown, legendary Les Brown.
Wow.
I mean, he's in his 80 and he's still speaking full time.
Yeah.
Who's better than him to speak and come across these point with his audience? When he talked about how you live your life full, he keeps saying, live life full and die empty. And I
Mm.
thinking about it, he's right. We should live this life full. We should do everything we want. If you don't know how to swim, learn swimming. If you want to speak another language, take courses and speak another language. All those skills will take the dementia away because you are practicing your brain. You are doing something that's it's out of the ordinary. It's not a routine. So the
Hmm.
brain will never vanish. The brain will still active. It's like doing exercise, right? So when you
Right.
do those new things, I mean, look at, like I said, Les Brown, he still speak full time and he's in his 80 because he's still giving, he's still leaving an impact. So those things are very important because you are making your life full. Again,
Hmm.
it's not a, when I say full, it's not like a full calendar or you always are busy doing something. Full meaning like really impactful task, things that really bringing joy to you first
Yeah.
and also benefit to others. And what is a what is a better time that when you're done with everything with your job and with raising kids, just to do something that you really uh, really love. And
Hmm.
I always tell my client, I said, if you feel your side business, if you love your job, great, continue doing 9 to 5, nothing wrong with that. I'm
Yeah.
doing 9 to 5 and I'm doing a side business. But
Hmm.
if you that side business is not talking with your soul and there is no joy,
Yeah.
that is not meant for you.
Yeah.
Just don't
Yeah.
do it
Yeah.
because business is brutal. I mean, you're not going to make money the first 6 months,
Yeah.
and if you are not willing to take the loss and up and down, and you make money maybe 6 months, then nothing will
Hmm.
happen for another 6 months. You just
Hmm.
have to be willing to learn and move
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying the full.
on.
I
Yeah.
really, yeah, I really appreciated how you got into the depths of that because that really resonates in terms of full in your soul, right? Full for you, not the calendar, because we know all about the calendar and being busy.
Yeah.
I I hear it all the time. I'm retired and I haven't been busier since I've been retired. I'm like, are you happy? Doesn't matter about busy. Are you happy, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Are you happy? Are you having joy? It
Yeah.
doesn't matter you are meeting 3 clients. If you are miserable and stressed at the end of the day, don't meet anyone.
No.
Some days I come back from work and I just open the fireplace and I just sit down before the fireplace just to reconnect and reflect about my day. I don't do anything. I don't even change the clothes until another hour.
Yeah.
You don't have to be one task to another. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember Jeff Bezos. Um, he said once, he said, if your day contain of completing 3 major tasks, that's mean a great day. And that's
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos. If you can do 3 tasks, he didn't
Yeah.
say 15, he didn't say
Yeah.
30,
Yeah.
only 3 tasks. Because when you do those 3 tasks in 100% energy, you will give it all to that task, right? So it's come out all a great outcome. But if you do 15 things, you are giving a short percentage to each one of them. And
Yeah.
that's not good, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, let's say, for example, if I plan to go with my friend to the mall just for shopping, clothes and stuff, and having a
Yeah.
dinner, that day should be just me and my friend. I
Hmm.
should not take a phone call from work or for my business and just telling my friend, oh, give me 30 minutes. I'm ruining that day
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm not giving her my full energy. I'm not giving her my full attention.
Yeah.
So when I do this with my friend, when I go home fully with her, I have the joy. I had a great time. And also, I will not feel the guilt. And the next day when I go to work, I'm fully energized. I bought new clothes, which I love. I had a good lunch or dinner with her.
Right.
So I integrate both. I had
Yeah.
a fun day so I can do
Yeah.
work day. So like
Yeah.
when they say work hard and play hard, like when you are at work, just work, and when
Yeah.
you just play.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking of quality over quantity,
Yeah, definitely.
right? Really? And being present,
Yeah.
right? Be in the room. When you're in the room, be in the room, no
Yes.
matter where you are and what you're doing. And if you can't commit 100%, then don't commit at all. That's what my dad used to say.
It's a good advice. I mean, you rather not to be in that room. If that room doesn't belong to you, if you are not adding any value to that room, and if that room gonna exhaust you, just leave.
Yeah.
Leave.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. How can women leverage their experience and wisdom after 45 to create their most powerful and fulfilling chapter yet?
Great question. And I get to ask this when people ask me, what do you mean about discovering hidden gem after 50? What is that hidden gem? What is that hidden talent? And you will see it in a lot of women who work 25, 30, 35 years in corporate. And let's say a woman in HR, she was one of my clients. And she done her time, she retired, and she came back. She said, I want to hire you so you can help me how to have a side business, how to start a side business. So she was in human resources. She was always building team, mentoring, employee and involved with the leadership. And she told me that always people compliment her about she's very approachable. She always read the unspoken needs. She always had good relationship with people and building rapport with the employee. And I said, have you ever thought about coaching? And
Yeah.
she said, when I retire, I don't know if should I do this online. I said, yeah, you don't need an office. All you need just a branding, and you just be out there. You have 25 years being in human resources. So coaching, mentoring, they all have similar line over there.
Hmm.
And she was hesitating at the beginning, going back to your question, because we feel
Yeah.
that our degree is only used for 9 to 5 job. And my job here, my expertise, that's what I do for living, to convince my client that their degree is not to 9 to 5 job. They can
Hmm.
utilize and leverage that degree for side business as well, or just being a consultant. I'm not
Right.
asking to have an office and hire 50 people. No. So
Hmm.
going back to that client who was in HR, she's doing so well. Matter of fact, she's competing with me now. She I was like, the student become better than the teacher, right? And I'm very happy because it's such a great testimonial that when your client's scared to even start and they're 50 to starting an online coaching business, and here she is doing
Yeah.
great and
Yeah.
coaching leadership and big company. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of her because at the beginning she thought that her degree in HR is just for her 9 to 5.
Right.
And so when you hit that 45, 50, 55, that's not the end, that's not the end of the
Hmm.
chapter. That's
No.
actually the beginning, right? It's
Yeah.
not a waiting room. That's midlife is not a waiting room. It's a new frontier.
Yeah.
A new frontier for you. You have to really be courageous and say, I'm having the tenacity. I'm just gonna go after what I dream
Hmm.
in my
Hmm.
30 and 40. And
Hmm.
that's applied to any skills or any degree, finance, law, medicine. There's people you see that they spend years in very stressful job, and whatever the job is, finance,
Hmm.
engineering, medical. And when you sit down with them and you speak, they speak very well.
Hmm.
And they end up being speaker after
Yeah.
retirement. There's nothing wrong with that. So what they did, they leverage their message,
Right.
leverage their speaking talent to be on the stage and share their life experience with others. And that's worth a lot.
Yep.
But when you tell that person when they retire, oh, you are in medical, you should not be a speaker. No, they speak very well. You have to encourage them. They say, hey, although you retire, do you ever thought about being part of the community, association, speak on stage? And you see that they love it after they're 50 because they
Hmm.
are doing something that they never practiced before because they
Right.
were doing the 9 to 5 job. So a degree is something, yes, you hang on the wall, you are proud of 4 years, master, whatever, but
Hmm.
that degree also can help you
Hmm.
to, to bring other skills to the service and make it work for your benefit.
Love that. Love that. The hidden gems that are deep within all of us. And it's just taking the time and reaching out to Seiran and saying, "Hey, can you help me figure out what my gem is?" Because sometimes it's some conversations that help dig down and uncover that because sometimes we're so blind to what it is that we're really good at,
It,
right?
it, totally. Yeah, totally. I
Yeah.
was actually inspired by couple of author, Jack Canfield and Robert
Yep.
Greene. Who's better than those two? Talking about those life tasks or like core genius. And I think Jack Canfield have it in his book, The Principal Success. He talk about a lot of people. Maybe they born with it, but also they take the courage to keep working on that skill. So you see someone who's a best golfer. He was not the best golfer when he started, but he keep practicing. The best speaker. He was not the best speaker the first time. So it's a matter of you putting the effort and the commitment if you really want to be that person. It's and I think Robert Greene also talked about it in the mastery book. It's like you put so many hours into it until you become the black belt on those things.
Right.
And I always remember what Jackie Chan was talking about the kick. He's like, don't be scared from someone who do the kick 10,000 times. Be scared from that person who do the same kick 10,000 times.
Mm,
That same kick 10,000 times, you become expert, you become master. And
right.
that apply to any skill, apply
Yeah.
to writing, apply to speaking, apply to any other things, to business, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
very first things, it's always vague and muddy, right?
Yep.
You
Yep.
never figure out why I'm doing this. But as you go, you jump to the experience, you figure out things as you go. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. And thank you so much for this incredible conversation today. Is there anything that you'd love to share with our audience before we close for today's conversation?
Thank you very much for having me and trusting me to be part of your wonderful platform. I enjoy being here. And for the audience, I mean, if you are 30, 40, 50, 60, it doesn't matter any age. If you want to do anything, my only advice to you, just start right now, right after you hear this podcast. Because if you're going to wait for the time that you are totally ready, that time will never come. There's always be something in front of you to take care of. So if you have that dream and you really, really want to make that dream a reality, start the first things because action will feed your will feed your confidence. The confidence will never come first. The
Mm.
action does, right? So take the first action and keep doing. Don't give up. And for the sake of your audience, if they are willing to have a complimentary session with me, I will give them 15 minutes complimentary session on both links.
Oh, wonderful.
30 minutes on both. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll make sure that gets into the show notes so that people can sign up for that. Thank you so much for offering that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Before we close, I want to share something very gently. I am currently stewarding the early formation of a live in person experience called Ignite the Inner Uprising, and it's being created for women in midlife who feel the quiet pull towards something more truthful, more embodied, more their own. It isn't an event that I'm rushing or loudly promoting. It's being built really slowly with care and deep respect for the women in midlife who it's meant to serve. So if your body leaned in at any point during our conversation today, if something resonated here beyond just the words, I want you to know that there will be a place to gather. But for now, simply stay connected, follow, share, like, give us your reviews so that more women can find us. And when the timing is right, you will hear more about Ignite, the inner uprising. Thank you again, Seiran, for being here with us today. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and make sure you thrive after 45.